Alright guys, it's time for the last game of the regular season for the Habs, as we're about to do a game preview between the Habs and the Oilers, and it's round 2. Yeah! Rocky fought Apollo a couple of times, and hey, the Habs are about to take on the Oilers again. The sequel. So if you're new around here, grab yourselves a beer and park that ass on a chair, as we're about to take a look at the last time these two teams met, which was, not very long ago. We'll take a look at the updated standings, the projected lineups of both teams, which will be more like the guesstimated lineups of both teams, and of course, we'll take a look at the player statistics to drool over Connor McDavid's stats one last time. But first, if you guys are a fan of the Habs or just hockey in general, please consider subscribing to my channel, as I upload hockey content daily and would really enjoy if you guys decided to tag along for the ride. And if you want to get in on some of the fun down there in the old comment section, take a stab at predicting the score for tonight's game, and if you get it right, I will pin your comment to the top and give you guys a shout out in the game review for this one tomorrow. Now, the last time these two teams met, according to my doctor of course, was on Monday night. Yeah, a game in which the Oilers won by a score of 4-3 in overtime, with Connor McDavid netting the game winner. But hey, it wasn't really bad news guys, as the Habs did get a point from that game and clinched the fourth and final playoff position of the Northern Division, thanks to Jake Evans, Paul Byron, and Arturi Lehkonen, of course. Gosh, it even feels weird saying that, but they were on fire that game. So taking a look at the standings, you can see here that everything is pretty much set in stone, right? The only thing that can change at this point, and keep in mind, okay, I'm recording this on Tuesday night, is if the Winnipeg Jets lose both of their remaining games and the Habs win this one tonight against the Oilers, then it will be the Habs versus the Oilers for the first round of the playoffs, as the Habs can still technically pass the Jets off. However, by the time you actually see this video, hey, it may already be impossible. Moving on here, let's take a look at the projected lines for tonight's game, and we'll start things off by taking a look at the Habs projected lineup, but keep in mind that Dominique Ducharme did say after yesterday's practice that if the Winnipeg Jets do clinch third place, hey, he'll probably give a few players that are banged up some rest and give them the night off tonight. So these lines are very subject to change, and I'm sure it's the same thing for the Edmonton Oilers as well. So the first line for the Habs is Nick Suzuki centering Tyler Toffoli and Yoel Armia. The second line is Jesperi Kotkaniemi between Thomas Tatar and Josh Anderson, and Josh Anderson is kinda like a game time decision for the game tonight. The third line is Eric Stahl centering Corey Perry and Cole Caulfield, and this is a line that I now like to call Larry, Curly, and Cole. And of course, the fourth line, the dynamite line from last game, is Jake Evans between Paul Byron and Arturi Lehkonen. Looking at their defense pairings now, we've got Joel Edmondson and Jeff Petrie as the first unit. The second unit is Brett Kulak and Ben Sherratt, and the third unit is Alexander Romanov and Joe Dirt. Moving on over, let's take a look at the Edmonton Oilers projected lineup for tonight's game. The first line consists of Connor McDavid between Dominique Cahoon and Jesse Puljujarvi. The second line is Leon Draisaitl between Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Kyler Yamamoto. The third line is Ryan McLeod between James Neal, who's relevant again all of a sudden, and Alex Chiasson, the hitman of Carey Price. The fourth line is Jujhar Khaira, who's between Devon Shore and Josh Archibald. Now taking a look at their defense pairings, we've got Darnell Nurse and Tyson Barrie on the first unit. Their second unit is William Legason and Adam Larson, and the third unit is Caleb Jones and Ethan Pandabear. Now with the lines out of the way, let's take a look at the player statistics of both teams to see which players are most likely to kick some ass up in here. And at the top of the food chain for the Habs, we've got Tyler Toffoli, who's now got 44 points in 52 games, followed by Jeff Petrie, who's got 42 points in 55 games. Nick Suzuki is third, he's got 39 points in 55 games, and Thomas Tatar has 30 points in 49 games. And I don't know, for me, I'd like to see Tyler Toffoli score 2 goals tonight, and I'd like to see Nick Suzuki get 1 more point just to give him 40. I think that'd be a great way to cap off the last game of the season, and a big win, of course, with maybe John Murrell getting like 5 goals from my boy Jimmy down there in the comment section. Everybody give it up for Jimmy! Now moving on to the Edmonton Oilers player statistics, and at the top of the list, of course, is Connor McDavid. Look at this. He's got 102 points in 54 games, and he's only got 2 games left to get 98 points and give him 200. So, yeah, he's got a lot of work ahead of him tonight. In second place on the Oilers team, we've got Leon Draisaitl, who's got 81 points in 54 games, followed by Tyson Barrie, who's got 46 points in 54 games, and Darnell Nurse, who's got 36 points in 54 games as well. Anyway, guys, that does it for this game preview. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget to predict the score on the way out of here, and I'll see you next time.